Hello and welcome to this first in a series of videos on the subject of metal trunking. Now, we've made a very successful series of videos on conduit, and based on that we thought that it was time that we delved into the murky world of trunking. But I know what you're thinking. This gentleman standing beside me is the handsome and debonair member of the crew. Who've we got here?
Jake Hardcastle, you've seen me in the conduit videos.
The Conduit King,
yep,
we
conduit
call him.
King, I'll take that.
Absolutely. And he's about to become the Trunk King as well.
Yeah,
we found a pun.
That's a good one, yeah.
I knew I'd find. What we're going to be doing in this series of videos is we're going to be doing a deep dive into the subject of trunking, particularly focusing on metal trunking. What sort of stuff are we going to cover in this series, Jake?
Yeah, so we're going to cover the range of sizes available, the finish of this trunking, the different accessories and the tools that we'll use with trunking as well.
Absolutely. And as the series progresses, we're going to show you how to do some of the practical stuff. So we're going to be cutting trunking, we're going to be fitting the lid. We're also going to be showing you some of the common accessories and how to fit those.
Yep.
But as well as perhaps just easily fitting a T-piece, Jake, what we're also going to delve into in a future video.
Yeah, we're also going to look at how to manufacture all of these bends ourselves as well.
Absolutely. So we're going to figure out how to do that first, and then we're going to get stuck in with it.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of the stuff that we're going to be discussing in this video first of all. So we've got a very common size of trunking on the bench in front of us, Jake. What have we got here?
Yeah, so this is 50 by 50 trunking, Joe. There's also some other common sizes available, 75 by 75, 50 by 100, 100 by 100, and there's many more, the list goes on.
Absolutely, yeah, and we've got some of those bigger sizes up behind us here.
We have, yeah.
So this one is the 50 by 100, I believe, Jake?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And all those sizes, well, and more are available. You'll see those in the on-site guide as well, in the trunking sizing section.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's a wide variety of sizes available, varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, but it goes as high as 300 by 300 from Accor, as you say, which is a really massive piece of trunking. That's probably as big as I've ever installed personally. So that's all good. So the other thing we want to just have a quick chat about in this video are the types of tools that you might need when you're working with trunking. Yeah,
well, definitely the number one tool is going to be a hacksaw.
Yeah, look at that.
It's important to make sure we've got the right blade in the hacksaw as well. This is a 24 teeth per inch bimetal blade.
Yeah, that's really important. And of course, having that number of teeth makes for a nice smooth and hopefully easier cut than anything coarser than that. Yeah. What else we got going on?
Got a file up next.
Very good.
Get rid of those sharp edges, obviously.
Yeah, that could damage both us and the cable, of course. We want to get rid of those.
Definitely.
Yep.
And we'll be bringing in some zinc galvanising spray at some point as well, Joe.
Oh, very good. So zinc galvanising spray. Now, I remember when I was working at the college, we never had this for the learners to use because we kind of suspected that we might walk out into the corridor and find Jimmy was here down the wall and possibly worse. So what's the purpose of this stuff then, Jake, if we've not seen this before?
So we're going to use that when we've cut the trunking just to put that zinc galvanising finish back on so that it's not prone to rust.
Oh, okay. So when you cut through this, it exposes the steel, it takes the surface off, the protective surface off, and leaves us with a messy, rusty layer below if we're not careful. Very good. So that's good. Tape
measure as well. That's going to be needed.
Yeah. Again, very important to have the basics. That's a pretty important bit of kit. Make sure we get our measurements right.
And we've got a junior hacksaw as well if we're working with small trunking.
Yep.
Got our drill over here. We're going to be cutting some holes in the trunking, so we've got a few hole saws to hand here.
Very good.
Well, and then again, we'll use the cooling gel for that as well.
Very good. And of course, you know, even if we're not drilling holes for conduit, we'll still need to maybe drill holes in the lid for fixing.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll still need to drill holes in the sides for couplers and stuff like that. Very good. And of course, maybe in certain circumstances, depending on what you're working on, you may need some socket adapters here that you've got for doing up nuts and bits and bobs if you're using those, and your typical screwdrivers for doing that. But I noticed something else rather exciting has just hove into view here, Jake. What have we got going on here?
We've got the Milwonky, as Gordon calls it. We're not too sure, are we, Joe, how that's going to work with trunking?
No, I think it might be a little bit rattly on there, but we'll experiment with that during the video and see what we can come up with. Very good. So those are some of the typical tools. Obviously, there may be some more. If we've missed off your key tool off that list that you think you need for working with trunking, I feel like we've missed one off, so we'll see if that comes up in the comments. So feel free to grill me if you can guess my missing tool that's not on here. So we've looked at sizes, we've looked at tools. What we also want to think about is this finish. So we've mentioned that already. What finish is it on this trunking?
Yeah, so it's a steel galvanised finish.
Excellent, okay. And that's put on there again, because this is made out of steel, if it's left exposed to the atmosphere, over time that's going to rust, isn't it? And obviously we don't want to be putting cables and conductors and wires inside rusty trunking, because that's going to lead to all sorts of problems. So that's a galvanised finish, which again is why that galvanising spray is so important.
That's right.
Absolutely, very good. Okay, and then finally, of course, what you may often find if you look at the trunking over here and over on Jake's right there, what's missing from those bits there, Jake?
Yeah, well, we're missing the lid, and that's really important.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be leaving those single insulated conductors exposed in there, so we're going to look at the lid as well and cutting the lid.
Really important point. So again, we'll show you how to cut it to size, we'll show you how to drill the holes, because generally speaking, you know, we've got 3 of the turnbuckles here, which is not ideal when it comes to doing, maybe, you know, if you're only installing a length of trunk in that shot.
We can show how to put some extra turnbuckles in as well, definitely.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we've got an awful lot to look forward to in this series, but as always, we want to hear from you. So if you like working with trunking, if you've got any excellent stories about working with trunking, then please leave those in the comments section below. And if you've got any questions that you'd like us to answer in this series of videos or in future videos, please leave any of those thoughts or questions in the comments section below. And as always, Jake will very kindly get back to all of those for you.
Thank you very much for watching.
That's my line.